Right, hi, I'm Mark from 11 Media.
Oh, sorry. I'm Lane from 11 Media.
I say, you didn't even let me finish.
Nah.
Right, we are here to bring you another tech writing podcast, and this time we are going to speak to you about developing an author platform. So, what this means is, basically making yourself known online so people who might be interested in your books can find you, find out more about you, and find out more about your works.
Yeah, it's basically the idea. It's not too complicated once you get your head around it, although I can appreciate that advertising a book without a company doing it for you seems like a daunting task at first. It's not nearly as difficult as it sounds once you get into it.
Right, so I think firstly we are going to talk about the various social media sites you can use, because these things are already out there and they are brilliant for getting yourself known. So I imagine pretty much everybody listening to this has a Facebook account. It's nice and simple and allows you to create pages for your work, doesn't it? So you can create yourself an author page.
As many as you want. I've got an author page, a musician page, I'm on the 11 Media page, and my restaurant page. So.
I feel left out now, I've only got the one. Right, but yeah, so that would be our first port of call. Create yourself an author page, invite your friends to it, ask them if they'll invite their friends and so on. And then, boom, you've automatically got people coming in to, look at you and your works. What could you do? You can link pretty much everything you can to your Facebook page, can't you?
Yeah, you can connect it with your Twitter, your Tumblr, your SoundCloud, your everything. There isn't a limit with it, which is brilliant.
So yes, it's a very good starting point for getting yourself out there into the world. If you're purely using I wouldn't recommend purely using it, but if it's the one thing you're very confident on, then, just write yourself some little snippets of your book, maybe image previews.
Yeah, stuff like that. Concept art is always a good idea to share online. I find that it really builds up hype for your work more than just text does. In the past, I've experienced, and in fact right now, with not writing or having things made to go with my writing, it draws less people in. I think people like to be able to learn and experience visually as well.
Right, Twitter. This is, again, fairly simple.
Well, there's a, 50 or 60 letter maximum of what you can write.
It's you've only got a small snippet of text, so this is good if you like your short, sharp bursts of information.
Yeah, if you're not good at writing long paragraphs about things, this is the website for you.
You can also use it to share images, and luckily those images don't count to your word limit, so even better. Personally, I found that it's always fun to get involved with other people's work. Ultimately, people don't really care that much about one person's things, but if you get involved in their stuff, then they will in turn usually get interested in you. So my advice is find some interesting people and retweet what they do. Maybe add your own comments and opinions on it, because it will help you build up your followers that much quicker, and it will get you noticed ultimately.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I think when you're trying to promote yourself online, one of the first places I would start is trying to advertise on websites for other popular, good examples of webcomics and musician pages or author pages. Try and be advertised on their websites. Because if you can, that's immediately going to draw somebody else's following to you, so long as you sort of keep it related and appropriate.
Yeah. I'd also recommend finding yourself a few good hashtags which are quite popular on different days. For example, my personal favourites at the moment are One Line Wednesday, which is literally write a single line from your book that you think might intrigue people, and Folklore Thursday, which, given fantasy writing, is ideal. I love sharing little snippets and how I might transform them into urban fantasy ideas. Right, where next? LinkedIn.
I think LinkedIn is a really important part of getting anywhere in the industry that we are all in. And that's more than just writing. That is as a designer, as an editor, whatever you happen to do. It's sort of like Facebook, but for business professionals. So it is very user-friendly, very similar to Facebook. So it's populated very much just by people that are either looking for work or looking for people to work with, or looking to promote their work amongst people who create similar items. I think an open source network like that works really well with technology, with the internet, to promote things and to create more work with other people that you can therefore sell on. And if you're not doing this for the money, if you genuinely tell people you're not doing this for the money, I feel like this is an important point. You're probably not writing for the right reasons, because you do need to make a living off of your job.
Yeah.
If you love it, that is so much better. But ultimately, if you're in this industry, you're probably looking to make money. So LinkedIn is the place for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would also recommend it for looking for if you need help with a certain aspect of your work, such as cover design, editing. Brilliant place to find people. If you're looking to kind of get yourself out there, then there are loads of authors on there. And to be honest, I've been currently going about asking if any of them would like reviews done, because one, it helps get their work out there, and two, you know, they're usually willing to either return the favour or at least kind of announce it and point people towards our site, 11 Media.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of tit for tat relationship, but it does the trick.
But that's kind of what you expect in this day and age. You help each other. That's all about what you being human is meant to be. So there is no harm in sharing other people's work. Everybody can make money. There's no cap on demand for things like books and music. People always want more.
Exactly. Right, I think Tumblr and DeviantArt we can probably link into the same thing.
Yeah. I think Tumblr. Sorry.
I'd say they're a brilliant place for, if you've got concept art, cover art, just anything related to your...
Snippets of text work on them as well very well. If you snip them from the page, like screen cap your page, you can just post images up of whatever you want to show people.
I hadn't considered that. I might try that.
That's what I do with Hindsight.
Yeah, no, I might try that. And there was one other thing. Oh, yeah, if you're doing some kind of historical urban fantasy, just... basically stuff that you use inspiration from the real world for. I'd recommend photographs of what you take inspiration from.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're doing things like that, use websites like Tumblr and LinkedIn, and Wikipedia is surprisingly good. I don't care what anybody says, it is a useful resource. For research, do research what you're looking for. Talk about it with the people that are liking your page, following you. Get people involved, because people really like to have some input into the process.
Right, what else have we got? Oh, Instagram, you're going to have to do this one.
Oh,
I've
yes.
never used it.
Instagram is nice and simple. You operate it from your phone or your tablet or some other device similar to that. Basically, you just post images. So you can just post images related to your website or to your book. And you can just keep that going, and people can find that nice and easy from a click-through link from your Facebook or anything like that. And I don't know, you can, like I said, put snippets of text up, you can put images up, all in picture format, and people can just scroll through and see everything that's coming up and everything that's happened in the past as well. It's a good place for somebody to see a summary of your career so far.
Oh, yeah, that's
same as Tumblr, actually. Very simple.
Fair enough. Right, Wattpadandfiction.net. These are places where basically you can share your writing in a non-profit situation.
Yes, absolutely. I used it once to write stories that were related to something I was going to self-publish. I didn't actually publish anything that I released on fiction.net, but it was sort of a build-up for people that got them interested beforehand, and I released snippets every few days and then weeks as it got closer and closer. So
yeah, basically, if you're looking for, I'd say, inspiration, critique, just people to share in your work, really, especially if it's like, you know, just experimental work that you aren't considering publishing, then these are great places to, you know, meet other authors and kind of get onto it.
A great example, actually, is a favourite author of both of ours, David Wong, used to post his original John Dies at the End stories on forums online, and people used to read them and fell in love with them.
Oh, nice.
That's how he ended up publishing. So it's always important to get feedback and to share on the internet. You never know what might come of it. So.
Finally, we would recommend creating your if you're doing ebook publishing or physical copy publishing, we would recommend creating those accounts early and familiarizing yourself with them.
Yeah, just practice a couple of like demo book setups and stuff, so you understand the process. So when it comes to publishing, you can just fly straight through it and get on with it, and there's not going to be too much trouble with things like cover art and ISBN numbers and stuff like that, because it can be a pain. Make sure that's all up to date by the time your book is ready for publishing.
So yeah, for that we'd recommend Amazon, and Kindle is a good one.
KDP if you're searching it via Google, and
Create Space for the physical copies.
Paperbacks only, I think, at the moment.
Fair enough.
They do.
Still, yeah. And as for a kind of the most widely available one, I'd say is Smashwords, which allows you to publish pretty much anywhere. And to be honest, I've kind of been browsing through the website, and I really kind of like the way it's run. Yeah. So I'd recommend that one personally. Right. Where are we next? Website. Building your own website.
Oh, that's always fun. Because we're on, what, number 3 now?
Yes.
And Christ, it has been a very long journey getting to this point. We started on webs.com, which I do recommend. They are fantastic, although we don't use them anymore. That's mostly because of personal issues with you and Pamela. I think you both... Well, you prefer WordPress and Pamela doesn't like webs, so...
Yeah, to be fair, we had a lot of problems getting like the website viewable on webs, didn't we?
Yeah, it was iffy. I think if you can get it to work and if you're willing to pay the amount to use it, great website, but WordPress is very reliable and it's a good price.
Yeah, no, that's where we've ended up now, and yeah, we have our own little domain, you know, it's affordable,
And we get several domains under it, do we not?
Not sure actually, because I went and looked into that, and apparently we've only got the one on the price we went for.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, even the free version, WordPress.com, is still, you know, really useful. It's just a nice simple thing you can use to create your website and get people interested. Other sites I'd recommend. Gmail's good for if you want to blog as well as have an awful website.
Yes, and that's great for YouTube accounts if you want to do podcasts like we're doing right now, or vlogs, which I'm starting to do for 11 Media today, actually. Ooh. So,
let's see. So, what will you need for your website? Images are a really good place to begin. If you have obviously cover art and stuff, but then if you have like logos, you know, that kind of represent you, author profile pics.
Yes.
Just, you know, stuff to make your website your own, a bit unique, a bit, you know, eye-catching, are all good.
Surprisingly, actually, I'm going to intervene here. I think a really important point when you're trying to promote your work and promote what you're doing, talk about yourself. Let people know who you are. Give them a reason to like you. Be yourself, but be the most likable version of yourself online. Be open with people and show them, you know, what you're made of a little bit. You don't want to be the same as everybody else. I think that is one way to not get caught out in a crowd, which is not what you want in this particular industry. So
let's see. So yeah, once you've selected your hosting platform, kind of got all the content to fill it with, I'd honestly just recommend getting stuck in. I mean, I'm not especially computer minded, but
for a guy with a computer degree,
I'm terrible at it. That is all I learned from my degree. However, mostly I just jumped straight in with pretty much everything. And although it was a lot of trial and error, you can do it. It is...
Oh, it's definitely doable. I mean, as a musician, there's a site called Reverb Nation, which is sort of like KDP or Tumblr or WordPress. You can promote your stuff there. And as a 14-year-old, I managed to figure out that website.
So yeah.
And it took me some time, but so long as you stick at it, you can work out anything on the internet. There is somewhere that will show you how to do it.
Yep. Let's see. So, right, you've got yourself your various social media accounts, which hopefully you have then linked to your website. You've got yourself your website, which you can, you know, contain all the information on your books. I think articles next.
Yeah, I think this is a big one for us. So.
Yeah. Basically, people, I mean, apart from fans of your book who are looking for, like, the next release, people aren't really going to come to your website for any other reason.
Not unless you are offering them something.
Exactly. So we'd recommend to build your author platform, we'd recommend coming up with a series of articles, either weekly, monthly, or daily if you're feeling...
That's basically us.
Masochistic.
Ours are what? Usually 6 days a week,
yes.
On and off, so...
And basically these can be on any subjects you want. So we do various book reviews,
music reviews. We do film reviews and stuff. Television. We
do lots of reviews basically, and
we like reviews.
We like reviews, and alongside that, we also
do stuff like this. The Technical Side of Writing podcast. We have. Going up now, I've got a vlog series called The Bedroom Records, which is actually going to be live music for our thing. The first one went out on Monday.
Ooh, you didn't tell me that.
I'm sorry, I've been very busy. But yeah, the first one's on the on the Facebook page for
fair
Monday.
Enough. I'll have to get that transferred over to the website.
But yeah, it's on YouTube, so there's another account for that in 11 Media.
Right, well there we go.
You see what I mean, there's so much you can do with it.
Exactly. So, create a list of stuff that you like to do. It can be anything and everything. However, make sure it can be kind of linked back to your work, something that will appeal to readers. So, obviously, book reviews we do.
Yeah.
We do the tech side of writing because we want to help out other authors.
We have an open source space on LinkedIn as a business where we have the option for people to come and discuss things. I find people generally tend to contact me personally about that, though. I don't know why people feel the need to do it via messaging, but...
So come up with your content, come up with something that you feel that you could provide relatively frequently.
Yeah, and while you're doing this, ask yourself, is it something